rounding the final corner now. Josh Wynn on pole position. We are ready to go green at Daytona Tamworth. It's lights out and away we go. Josh Wynn gets away well ahead of Brandon Barker. And they roar down towards turn 3, and it is the top two out in front as it's the driver in fourth swoops round the outside into third position. So it's Wynn from Barker then as they all get through turn 3 safely. Now they must navigate the tricky braking zone into turn 4. It looks nice and orderly through there, no contact. A couple side-by-side moments, maybe as a battle for 7th and 8th there, but it gets sorted out relatively quickly, and we're up towards turn 6 now. And this is a deception inside corner. Let's make sure they all get through there nicely. And they do, with Brandon harassing Josh all the way through turn 7. Contact was made, but he lost momentum. It's going to give Josh a breather into turn 8 as they now enter the final sector. And we are going to get our first look at the standings as they go across the line again. Nice and orderly again. No contact, but it looks like a move from the drivers right at the back there. Maybe some contact between the two at the back of the pack, but nothing serious, as RPM would say, as they cross the line now. So it's Josh Wynn from Brandon Barker, and just I'm getting the results coming up on the screen now. It is as they hurdle at 70 miles an hour towards turn 3. Josh Wynn from Brandon Barker, Murray Ager, Tom Moreton, Janae Jones, Libby Wolven, Chrissy Harding, Lauren Seagrave, Adam Gudgeon, Morgan in 10th, Hugh Moreton, and then Ryan Nicholas as we navigate towards turn 4. The gaps between 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th are huge, but the battle for 6th, 7th and 8th between Libby Wolven, Chrissy Harding and Lauren Seagrave rages on there. It rages up until turn 6. It looks like they've stayed in exactly the same order, but there's not plenty of contact on the way through turn 5 as they're just bumping each other just to make sure they get through there as fast as possible. And now it seems to be that Lawrence is getting harassed, but even the driver in 9th place, there's Adam Gudgeon there getting involved, all kicking the tail out through the exit of turn 8 through turn 9. And now as Josh rounds the final corner, it's now Brandon who's harassing him round into the first corner. Will Josh Wynn be bested by another Barker? He's all over the back of him, the toe of the slipstream, allowing him to get really close as Josh shuts the door. But he's going to go down the inside anyway. Brandon Barker into the inside of turn 4, takes the lead from Josh Wynn and into turn 5. Josh is going to have to accept that he's been done out the inside by another Barker. And now he is 2nd place to the second of the two twins, and now it looks like maybe Josh has some issues coming out of corners compared to Brandon's machinery, as even when he went wide through turn 6, it looks like he has a bit of a comfortable margin, and they wind their way through turn 8, turn 9. They look like textbook corners, but they're very important to get right. Now entering the final sector, it looks like Murray Ager is comfortably in 3rd now, but Tom Moreton is right there, and those two are going to have to set out after Josh Wynn as he has lost the lead. He's on the back foot, and now he chases Brandon Barker down into turn 3. Brandon's lap was I believe like 0.7 of a second faster after he made that overtake, and Josh just a little bit slower than the two behind him in terms of fastest lap so far, but the gap between them is still large. It's going to take a lot of the drivers want to bridge that gap, but the fight for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th, 8th and 9th still rages between Libby Wolven, Chrissy Harding, Lauren Seagrave and Adam Gudgeon. There's plenty of action there as that battle hasn't quite settled down yet. They are line astern, but they're very close to each other. Any second there could be a mistake. Chrissy seems to have found her way to the front though, so I believe that Chrissy is, I think, ahead maybe of Libby Wolven, but I could be wrong, I'm not sure. As it seems that, yeah, Brandon's pace now is just far superior to Josh's on that lap, lapping 56.3 to the 56.7, and that gap has certainly increased. Maybe Josh not quite happy with what's underneath him. It's not propelling him to the lead of the race currently, it's propelling him to 2nd place. He's having to sit behind Barker and watch him disappear into the distance. But the gap between Josh Wynn and Murray Ager is still increasing. It's still big, and Murray Ager might have eased the gap to Tom Moreton just slightly, as you still see, I believe that is, yes, I believe that is, I think that's Chrissy Harding and Janae Jones there. Janae Jones between the battle for 3rd and 4th and 6th and 7th. But behind Chris and Lauren Seagrave still keeping her company, certainly keeping her on her toes, making sure she doesn't become complacent. As behind Lauren Seagrove, there's also Libby Wolven and Adam Gudgeon losing a place, and Morgan as well. So it is into turn 3 we go with the leaders, with Brandon Barker and Josh Wynn. Josh Wynn now into turn 4, and they have a comfortable gap between themselves and Murray Ager in 3rd place. Now they're going to. Brandon Barker's going to set about trying to build that gap, build himself a comfortable margin ahead of Josh Wynn, as those two have certainly checked out from the rest of the grid. And I think I've been told to call down lightweight split 2. So lightweight split 2, if you are in that race, make sure you get your helmets on, gloves on, suit up, and go and wait by the gate. Still have a while yet, but make sure we all get down there pronto. As Brandon Barker just sliding it through the penultimate corner. That might allow Josh Wynn to close up just a little bit, but that gap does seem to be growing. It seems to be moving in the direction of Brandon Barker, as that last lap, even still with sliding from Brandon, he was a 10th faster than Josh Wynn, nearly matching his best lap. And maybe Josh is just going to have to settle for 2nd place, as Tom Moreton is starting to get interested with Murray Ager. That gap ebbing and flowing. Will Ager be able to pull away, or will Moreton be able to launch an attack? This is for the final step of the podium, as Ager felt it necessary to maybe cover the inside of, I think that's turn 6, and Moreton to the inside. That's an aggressive move. Wow, he had so much overspeed coming through there, through the King of 7. Ager's going to go back down the inside into turn 8. This is fantastic stuff. Moreton hangs it round the outside. Ager tries to squeeze him out of room. Moreton's going to stick his nose down the inside anyway. And Ager just has to concede. He loses grip on the outside. So there is a change of position for 3rd. Tom Moreton ahead of Murray Ager then, as Ager tried something into the final corner, but it's not going to stick. So there is a swap position. Moreton ahead of Ager for 3rd. As we see Brandon Barker and Josh Wynn just winding their way through turn 4. Thanks to that fighting, that gap has increased now. The gap between 2nd and 3rd now sits at 6 seconds. The top 2 have checked out, and it's now down to Junaid Jones in 5th to try and get on top of this battling happening ahead of him. He has gotten ahead of Lauren Seagrove, who is ahead of Chrissy Harding. So now it's all about bridging gaps. It's about your raw pace. How much do you have in the locker room? How much are you willing to leave out on the field? How much are you willing to push with without almost putting it into the barriers? Brandon Barker pushing with everything he's got, takes a nervous look behind him, shakes his hands. These karts will rip your grip strength to shreds. They are very, very powerful karts on a very, very bumpy circuit. You can see our race leader there with massive oversteer on the last corner, nearly losing it into the barriers while being hunted by my fellow commentator Josh Wynn. And now he seems to have recovered it. He does have a gap of 1.5 seconds, so there's no need to risk anything at this stage. But talking of risk, Murray Ager, we're winding to get to the end of this race, and Murray Ager's thinking, right, I'm going to have to get back on terms with Tom Moreton, because he's done me towards the end of this race, and I'm not going to give up 3rd for nothing. So he's certainly looking to hunt that down now, as I believe that's Lauren Seagrove trying to get on terms with Junaid Jones as well for 5th place, that is, with Chrissy Harding in pursuit behind her, Libby Wolven, Adam Gudgeon, Morgan, Ryan Nicholas and Hugh Moreton swapping places at the back of the grid there. But now the gap between Brandon Barker and Josh Wynn is over 2 seconds as Brandon pumps in a new fastest lap of the race, 56.032. Absolutely disgusting pace in a split 3 race. He's leaving Josh Wynn for dust behind him, and that gap has now increased to almost 9 seconds to 3rd place from the leader. So he's feeling comfortable out there. He's having a nice drive here at Daytona Tamworth. He is enjoying that car and making the most of it, because Josh Wynn looking like he's going to have to settle for 2nd place with 2 minutes on the clock here. It's going to take a miracle for him to wind that back in. It's going to take him some hell of a driving it. I don't think he's got machinery underneath him to complete that task. So in 3rd place now, it looks like Tom Moreton has managed to build a gap over Murray Ager. That pace advantage that he showed getting past him has stuck around. And eventually, with an oversteer moment out of turn 9, he secures it, he gets it under control, ready for turn 9 and turn 10 and the final turn, should I say. And he takes a look behind him, but he does have the gap now as it rounds final corner and soars back up to 70 miles an hour, looking ahead. Brandon Barker ahead of Josh Wynn once again. That gap stabilising in around 2.3 seconds, and I believe very soon we'll be heading towards our final lap, and Brandon will be tasting the Victor champagne already, just like his twin in the first race. I believe we had Rhys Wynn in the first split 3 race this afternoon, and now we have Brandon Barker. The 2 Parker twins are going to win in split 3, get promoted to split 2 as Josh Wynn winds through turn 8, now into turn 9, swinging that cart in as Tom Moreton continues to extend his advantage over Murray Ager. And now the battle for 5th is starting to heat up, with Lawrence Seagrave all over Junaid Jones. Chrissy Harding, whoa! With, looks like Lawrence Seagrave all over the dust, and that's allowed Chrissy Harding back into play. She's looking to take a wide line, get that better exit. Is she going to go for the undercut? Yes, she is! With the up and under, Chrissy Harding has taken 6th place off of Lawrence Seagrave. Now she can set off after Junaid Jones as he rounds turn 3 at nearly 70 miles an hour, but she's got a little bit wide, but she still seems to have an advantage. Seagrave will not be able to lunge down the inside into turn 4, and in the dying moments here we've had a change of position between Harding and Seagrave heading into turn 5 now. Seagrave not taking that line down, fighting back. Nothing doing into turn 6, however the leaders are already entering the final sector. Such is the speed of these guys, setting low 56s in a split 3 race. It's kind of ridiculous. But Junaid Jones leading this group out in front. She's managed to pull away thanks to the mistakes of Seagrave and Chrissy attacking into the final sector of last lap. Checks behind him, but this is the last lap. No time for checking behind you, mate. You've got to keep driving. Focus on what's ahead of you. As Chrissy rounds the final corner, takes a look behind her. Where is my competition? It's all over your back bumper, mate. Keep going. As they wind up to 70 miles an hour, and looks like Junaid Jones is going to be safe from any sort of attacks into turn 3, into turn 4. Tom Moreton has increased his advantage over Murray Ager. Looks like a almost certain 3rd place, 2nd place, and 1st place finish for those drivers currently. Unless I'm sure none of them will crash, but barring a crash, I think that's how it's going to end. As his twin took victory in the first race of split 3. He was denied 2nd place by the man he is currently ahead of, but Brandon Barker rounds the final corner to win split 3 ahead of my fellow commentator Josh Wynn. He didn't have the car to take him to victory, I don't believe, but rounding the final corner now, Tom Moreton made the critical move, got himself onto the podium. He finishes 3rd ahead of Murray Ager. Junaid Jones, thanks to the fighting between Lawrence Seagrave and Chrissy Harding, who pumps the air. 4th and 5th and 6th for Junaid Jones. 5th and 6th and 7th for Junaid Jones, Chrissy Harding and Lawrence Seagrave. Libby Wolven finishes in 8th place from Adam Gudgeon, Ryan Nicholas, Morgan and Hugh Moreton in 12th.